Usually when people are speaking about gaming and Web3 together, they are discussing what will be the next big hit, what game will give them 100x, and they completely disregard all the games that are currently existing on the market. And I did the same pretty much until 3 months ago. But if you're a fan of TCG games like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, after this video you'll probably give a chance to Gods Unchained as well. Hello everyone, I'm Željko and welcome to Crypto Grid channel. So since I'm playing games all the time, like half a year ago I decided to find some good Web3 game, and since I'm usually playing MOBA games, TCG games, auto chess games, hack and slashes and things like that, I've installed multiple games and one of them took my attention. It's Gods Unchained. So pretty much since like 3-4 months ago, I'm playing it pretty much daily, and I'm also streaming on Twitch. You can find the link in the description below. And I think this game is super underrated, especially if you compare it with other games that took actually much higher traction in comparison to Gods Unchained. First thing is that the actual usability of NFTs is actually makes the most sense in card games, because if you compare it with other games, like in Hearthstone, you can buy or sell cards. Maybe they changed that slightly, but I don't remember them having them a really good marketplace for something like that. One thing that is really interesting is that Gods Unchained is released in Q1 of 2018, which is pretty long time ago. And if you look at blockchain gaming, there were even many good games where either team wasn't responding, either they had such a bad tokenomics that they completely failed, or some similar issue. When it comes to Gods Unchained, the community is amazing. Pretty much as soon as I installed the game, I joined the Discord server, and there are many people who would gladly help me with whatever questions I had, and I had them a lot, to be honest. Same thing when I started streaming, I was pretty much immediately adopted, and a lot of people that are pretty much famous in the game that are streaming it for 3-4 years, they started raiding me, supporting me, giving me advices, tips, how to progress. So it's a really nice community of people around the game, which is usually pretty important if you're looking it in the longer run and how the game will develop and how you will actually feel when you're playing the game. I mentioned tokenomics. I played few blockchain games that were actually pretty good, and I saw multiple things like price dropping 100x and like game pretty much dying immediately, like from, I don't know, like really high amount of users to pretty much nothing in a matter of month or two. So here obviously, as we have different expansions and they are working heavily on it, making the game balanced and everything. Obviously, you have some oscillations, but that's not that drastic. If you look into the chart, yeah, now we are currently at low ranges, but it's most likely because the summer is coming up, there is less people playing the games, they're actually going to vacations and doing some real life stuff. And since this game is actually play to earn, this is actually the best moment to enter the game, because like the less players that are playing, the rewards that they're distributing are higher per each player. So this is actually a great incentive for you to actually start playing the game. As soon as they're about to release new expansion, you can often see these kind of spikes where people are actually playing more games, buying more cards. And if you look at token throw, which pretty much shows trading volume for each game, you can obviously see that the newer games have higher traction. I also started playing Guild of Guardians, and it's on the first place because the game is pretty new. But often you can see Gods Unchained that is in front of Illuvium, for example, while Illuvium is much more famous in the Web3 space. And honestly, I tried that game as well, and I'm not even close to be a big fan as I am to Gods Unchained, at least at the current stage. Like Illuvium is still like in some kind of alpha, while Gods Unchained is pretty well balanced, pretty well developed, and in my opinion, the game with a bright future. If you look at the balance, there are like 6 gods, and you can see when you compare the win rates of each that they are pretty much all at a similar win rate in the previous 30 days, which pretty much shows that the game is well balanced, and that's also important from the sustainability perspective in the longer run. If you look at the chart of the game, the chart doesn't look that great as you can see here, but one of the reasons, this is weekly chart by the way, one of the reasons it's play turn game, so we have new tokens coming into circulation all the time, but the team that is behind the Gods Unchained are always finding new ways how they can actually burn the incoming cards, burn the incoming tokens, which provide sustainability in the longer run, and they are pretty much able to sustain it for a few years already, which obviously looks promising in the longer run. And to be honest, I'm admiring to people that created the math behind the game. If you deep dive, and you can find the YouTube videos regarding the math, how you can like forge the multiple cards together in order that you actually get higher daily rewards. On that way you're burning some cards, and by burning total amount of cards, this provides higher rewards for you in pretty much daily levels. Like if you look into the coin market cap, you can see the market cap is around 95 millions, and like there's so much more games that are like much worse, or they're not developed, they just have like higher level of marketing. Gods Unchained is actually focused on onboarding new players, and they are investing in more content and stuff like that. They are not interested in like random people buying their coin, which is obviously a huge difference. I mentioned to you Illuvium that is actually like still in alpha, beta. I'm not sure, but for example, it has like more than 3.5x market cap in comparison to Gods Unchained. And in my vision, in the longer run, like if you compare it with Hearthstone, I played Hearthstone. I didn't play Magic the Gathering online. I played only few games in real life, pretty much with some random deck that somebody else gave me. Like having the ownership of the cards is actually a huge advantage, especially as the game is progressing. There are more expansions added to the game, more cards added to the game. It becomes more and more important. And also, as Web3 is developing, I think this aspect of the game will develop drastically as well. One also really good thing here is that you can pretty much on GeoDex, that's the website that is connected to the API of the game, and you can pretty much look at like every matchup, like how much each class is winning versus another, how much each deck is winning versus another, and all the data pretty much regarding the decks that are people using and everything like that, which simplifies a lot of things for new players, because you can pretty much go to the player stats, you can take somebody that is first on ladder and you can see what deck they are using, and you can pretty much look if you want to build something like that, which is in my opinion a great thing for new people. The meta of the game is pretty balanced. Obviously in different expansions there are some classes, some archetypes that are slightly better than others, but that's always present in card games. The way how the game is designed looks really good, like the whole approach and idea, how the mana curve develops, how the spells, the cards are created is really good, and like there are some advantages and some disadvantages obviously to other card games, but I think this is something that will be way more played as Web3 world is evolving and as people are hearing more about this. So in my opinion, it's something that you should definitely give a shot. You can buy new decks pretty cheap. You can even play as a free player. It will be slightly difficult at start, but you can reach pretty much the highest level in the games with really cheap decks that are like maybe $10 or something similar. Also, if you have any questions regarding the game, you can also always reach out to me on Twitter here, or you can ask the questions in the description. I'll gladly answer you and help you to enter the game. So I hope that you like the video. Stay strong and healthy. Bye.